Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen, to episode 6 of the DeGents podcast. I am your host, D. Fuski. My two co-hosts, Petty and Rich. What's going on, boys?
What up, ladies and DeGents? How we doing?
How we doing, everybody? Sweet 16 action tonight. WGC, the matchup. Wonderful day. Let's get after it.
Hell yeah. We're about six-ish hours ahead of the first tip-off tonight, Michigan State, K-State. We will get into that. What a weekend it was. I mean, it was madness, as they promote.
Mm-hmm.
We had some
Absolutely.
big upsets. Princeton, FDU making a run. Princeton's still in it. 2 of the 4 number 1 seeds gone. As we talked about, we were a little sketchy on squad riding FDU, but they pulled through for the boys. And
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call it sketchy. I mean, I was the only one who didn't. I kind of blanked on it, to be honest with you. Kind of folded on that one, and I am now kicking myself for that. FDU was it's a pretty massive underdog hit. Probably the most unbelievable Cinderella story March Madness has ever seen. So I'll be kicking myself for a while on that one.
Most definitely.
We talked about it on last episode, and we all picked the same 16 seed we were most confident in, and it was more due to a lack of confidence in Purdue. And
Yeah, definitely.
And now it's a problem. I mean,
For sure.
3 years in a row, top 5 seed, and they're getting bounced.
Yeah, no.
Very early. First round this year, first round last year to a 15. I think the year before they lost in the second round, but they got to figure it out, man. They really do.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. And it sucks too now for them, like moving forward in the tournament. It's going to be in their heads, in the back of their mind every single time. And it's just, how are they going to get over that hump? Coach
That
Painter,
one, St. Peter's.
yeah, St. Peter. What was that? The year before they lost, I think it was in the round of 32. They lost to who the hell was it? Oh, it's killing me.
Arkansas.
I don't know if it was Arkansas. It was a lower seed. I think it was like a 12 or a 13 seed. But I saw it the other day, and I can't think of it right now. Damn.
It wasn't Oral,
yeah,
was it?
No, that was Ohio State. I think Ohio State lost Oral. Was a 215. That was a 215 matchup. But damn it, that Purdue. I remember that game too. Damn.
Purdue's cursed.
Purdue is cursed.
Now
Purdue is absolutely cursed, and like it stinks too. It's like because Coach Painter, he's Matt Painter, I think his name is. Coach Painter is one of the best coaches in college hoop.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. Is he just not fit for the role? Like if it happens again, is he going to get bounced?
Oh yeah, he might get bounced before.
You think they can him if they lose in the first or second round again next year?
You got to remember they're in Indiana too, so the
Standards high.
Very high.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So yeah, incredible weekend. We got the Sweet 16 set, and we got WGC going on, the match play. That's always fun. But we're gonna dive into the Sweet 16 here, and we're gonna give our reseeding, if you will, power rankings for the 16 remaining teams. We'll go bottom to top, and then we'll just kind of talk about it, matchups today, tomorrow, and then throughout the weekend, what we see happening. And yeah, I'm ready to get back into March. The Monday through Wednesday first 2 round hangover is up there with the worst it could be.
Oh, it's miserable. It's one of the worst times. You try and make yourself stay away from the NBA, but it never happens. And glad to be back at it tonight.
Yeah, you guys. Oh my God, it's a tough couple days here. I was diving to NHL a little bit. Hit a couple bets in NHL. Lost a couple bets in NHL. Like Petty said, try to stay away from the NBA. I put one bet in on the NBA and I lost, and I was like, screw this. I mean, NBA sucks.
It's like last night was one of those nights. And then Chris Paul had more rebounds than he did assists. It's like what's going on here? It might never happen before.
Yeah, The NBA, man, it's impossible to handicap, in my opinion.
A buddy in a group chat, that was the only leg he missed out of like 16 legs was Chris Paul's assist, and Chris Paul had more rebounds than he had assists. It was a cardio day for him for three
Man.
quarters.
It's just so tough because you're like me personally, I was 110% tuned out to any professional sport. All I was watching was March Madness. I didn't
Yep.
care about anything else. I didn't pay attention to anything else. And then you try to dive back in on Monday when there's no more college basketball. And it's like, I don't even
You're
know.
lost.
Is this team still good? I don't know. So,
Injury reports.
yeah, nothing. There's no. It's still March Madness.
Yeah.
But hey, we're back. Sweet
We're back.
16. Let's fucking go.
We're back.
Let's go.
All right. So I think the best thing that happened after March Madness was the WBC. And we'll talk about that, the ending to that, USA Japan. That was at least a little bit of entertainment on Tuesday night, but it's not going to beat it. So let's dive into these rankings with the 16 teams left. We'll start at 16 and we'll go quick here because I think we can all agree. I have Princeton at the bottom. They played inspired. They're a good basketball team, but with only 16 left, it's going to be tough for them to get past and get into the next round.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I got Princeton as my 16th as well. This isn't a dig on Princeton, but I mean, in the semifinals of the Ivy League tournament, they were only a point favorite, and in the finals of the Ivy League tournament, they were, I think it was 4 or 5 point underdog. So even coming out of their own conference, they weren't the consensus top team. And I mean, this has been a magical run for them, but compared to the other teams, the other talent we have left in the field here, they're definitely at the 16 spot for me.
Eddie, do you agree?
Yeah, I'm in on that as well. Princeton, 16. You can't put them really anywhere else.
No, you can't. Maybe FAU, but I think FAU is better.
I mean, this was kind of tough because it's like you kind of want to go off what you think might happen, but at the same time, I was trying to rank them, kind of really rank them, but then I mean, I got 3 of my top 7 that potentially I think are going to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In their potential matchups.
it's tough, and I just think not that the matchup in the Sweet 16 has really anything to do with how you view them as an overall squad, but it's just tough to see them. I think Creighton is really strong in a tough matchup for them because
Exactly.
they're big, they can hit shots, and Princeton is just kind of they're just a basketball team. You know, they're not particularly good at anything specific. They're just kind of well-rounded and they play hard. And that's why they made it this far, I think. Excuse me. But next, and against Creighton, I believe they are. Let me check. I believe they're 10-point underdogs. And I've been trying to find a way to take them, but I don't. I think Creighton is too good and too tough of a matchup for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're getting 10. So that's second to last game of the night. But at number 15, I have FAU.
I got FAU as well.
I have FAU as well. I mean, hey, they made it to the Sweet 16. They dodged the bullet with the 1 seed in the second round. I honestly think they probably could have beat Purdue. Like I was pretty low on Purdue. So, I mean, I do like this FAU team. It's not a team that I watched a lot of during the regular season, but just watching these guys in the tournament, Jonell Davis, Elijah Martin, the big guy in the middle, Golden, like they're a good team. They D up, they can score a little bit. And I have a few plays for this Tennessee FAU game tonight. I think it's going to be a physical game. I think it's going to be a lot of free throws.
Let's run through that real quick because they're getting 5.5 against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee beats Duke in the round of 32. For me. but they played very physical against Duke. They're throwing elbows and they couldn't miss. They're known for their defense, but I swear every time I was out and I was watching on my phone and stuff, but every time I looked at the screen, it was just Tennessee hitting like even contested shots. It felt like they couldn't miss. And
Yeah.
what's his name? I forget it. Olivier something. Their leading scorer in that game. I forget his name already, but I don't know.
Yeah, Olivier. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I have FAU at 15, just like you guys, but it's a big jump from Princeton to FAU, and I think a team like FAU or Miami is a team that matches up well with a defensively strong team like Tennessee. So I lean the 5.5 only because I think they play fast, and that might give Tennessee some struggles. I don't think Duke plays very fast, and they don't really have like that guy that's going to make the shot and like in that big moment. So I lean that way, but it's just this is my least favorite game of the Sweet 16.
Your least favorite of like just a betting wise, or like
Betting-wise, yeah.
betting wise, yeah. At first, just looking at the line, I right away I was like, oh, I think Tennessee has it. They beat Duke pretty handily. But then the more you kind of dive into it, and like the more you just watch the team, and like FAU is a good team. I know we have them ranked 15th, but I mean, looking at my list here, I have Tennessee at 9th, but 9 to 15, like if you any way you want to put them in order, I'd probably agree with you. Like it's all based on preference. I don't think there's much of a difference from 9 to 15
For
between
sure.
those teams. But like Fuski leans FAU. I'm actually playing FAU plus 5.5. I have the over in that game as well. I'm playing over 129.5. I think it's one of those games where it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be really physical. I think both teams are going to get in foul trouble early in halves. I think there's going to be a lot of free throws. I think this game might get a little chippy. So I like the free throws really putting it over the edge for me to get that over 129.5.
Speaking of totals here, let me butt in before you go, Petty. I'm on KenPom right now. Adjusted tempo for Tennessee is 278 in the nation, and adjusted tempo for Florida Atlantic is 142. So maybe FAU doesn't play as fast, but they play aggressive enough where I think that with Tennessee's number one adjusted defense, they could maybe score some points. And Tennessee's offense isn't particularly that good when they're hitting shots. I mean, they can score, of course, just like any team in the tournament, but that's why I lean FAU. And I do have them in a parlay, but I guess we'll see how the first few games go before I dive in straight play there. Leaning FAU. What about you, Betty?
I'd have to say Tennessee. I just think they're bred to be in this position. I'm not saying they'll go far, but I think with the the path that they do have, I think it's super unexpected, and I think it helps them out big time. I'm just hoping they don't play down to a level that they're not used to playing against. They just played Duke. They're playing up tempo against Duke. Florida Atlantic, I'm hoping they come in and they don't take a step back. I hope they take a step forward and just pedal to the metal. But I think it could definitely go either way. It's definitely going to be a tight game. But I think if Tennessee can come out early and like they can in first halves, I don't think Florida Atlantic will stay.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at it right now because I gotta try at least to pronounce it. Olivier. I don't know if the N is silent. Nakamoa. Nakamoa? That sounds kind of right. I don't know. He dropped 27, 10 for 13 from the field against Duke. And Duke is also a pretty good defensive team. So
yeah, no, they went wild, man.
They really couldn't miss. I mean, they dominated from start to finish. So we'll see. That, like I said, it's my least favorite game. But coming in at 14 for me is San Diego State. I think you guys probably have them a little higher up the list. I might be biased with my Mountain West hatred. They stink in the tournament. It's a big number against Alabama. I think it's what, 7.5, maybe?
Yeah, 7.5.
7.5. Yeah. So they might cover the number and play tight, but I'm just not too confident in them. So I have them coming in at 14.
I got them at 14 as well. Like I said earlier, anywhere from I think 9 to 15, pretty interchangeable, just based on how you view the team and whatnot. So San Diego State plays great defense. Let me just pull them up real quick. They only have one guy averaging double figures, but they have 8 guys averaging 6+ points. So they're a well-rounded team. You know, they run deep. They throw 9 guys at you. They have a pretty deep rotation. So expect them to D up. I got them 7.5. I put that in pretty early in the week.
I don't dislike that at all.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama has, I wouldn't say they've had an easy path. I mean, Maryland's a tough squad. But I mean, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. I mean,
I think they got off the bus for the Maryland game. They were a little sluggish in the first round, and then they were like, okay, let's go here.
Exactly. But I think San Diego State's going to test them. They're not going to back down. You know, that they're going to come right out and they're going to play defense. They're going to play basketball. They're the way they're supposed to play. And I think that gets them to cover that 7.5. So I'm going with that. I think Alabama moves on here, but I like San Diego State plus 7.5.
Ready?
I'm not sure where these guys are. Hold on. Sorry. I'm not sure where these guys are on your list, but I actually have Arkansas at the 14. And I mean, this.
What did you say? Who'd you have?
Arkansas.
Okay.
I'm trying to minimize the screen. I just messed up my fucking screen. Whatever. So I actually have Arkansas at the 14. They came in at the 8 in the tournament, right?
Yeah,
8 seed. I don't think they're really an 8 seed though. I think they're better than an 8 seed personally.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know. They just took out Kansas. I think that was a little bit, I don't know, of a fluke. But you know, one of them will go. Kansas had to go down at some point. I mean, but yeah, I just feel like you said that. I mean, I'm kind of on like 14 through 10 being the tough calls, and those are going to be the close ones for me. Containing Miami, San Diego State, Creighton, teams like that. But yeah, I have Arkansas at my 14.
Okay. They've been a giant killer the past few years, and they play aggressive.
Yep.
And I love that for them. But yeah, I mean,
I think that's the thing. And I mean, they're the giant killer, but they're just like, I think that's all they have to them.
And they have UConn. So
I got UConn.
yeah.
UConn advancing.
All right. So 13 for me, I have Miami. We talked about it last episode. We know they can score, but they don't play any defense, and that's why they're low on the list. However, they play Houston, and I think their pace and their scoring ability will provide a tough matchup for the nation's best defense. So I got Miami plus 7.5 in that matchup, but I have them low on the list because they don't play defense really at all.
Yeah, I got Miami here too. Fusca, our list are looking very similar here, guy.
Wow, Rich.
No, I mean, I like Miami. I had them in most of my brackets getting to the Sweet 16. I think their offense alone was going to carry them to this point. I think you like the matchup with them versus Houston. I, on the other hand, do not. They're going to try to push the tempo, and I think Houston their defense will handle that tempo pretty well. And Houston's adjusted offense is top 5 in the country too. So I think just based off of that, Houston's going to have no problem scoring. And I mean, if Miami can continue to score, I mean, Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller are going to have to do their thing. And if they can keep up the scoring, I like them maybe to cover. But I mean, I don't think really Houston. I think Houston might not even sweat this one out. I have them advancing here.
Patty's 13.
In my 13, I actually have Miami too. Going back to just, I mean, how they got here. I think they just knocked off Indiana. I don't know. I don't think. I think even coming in at the 5, I don't think they really deserved that. I think they got a little streaky during the season and had a good record coming into it, obviously. So that's what gave them that 5. But I don't know. I got them pretty deep in the ranking there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. If you can score, you can win a couple games in this tournament. But
Yeah,
defense,
they scores for sure.
Defense will play a big part coming up. Yeah, I like them against Houston just because if they do push the pace and Houston maybe comes out a little bit slow and they kind of jump out to a lead, then I mean I don't know. I just like them for whatever reason, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, 12.
Okay.
I got Kansas State at 12. Yeah, no real reasoning. This is where this middle part is just kind of who you think.
I got
stronger. I love their coach,
Yeah.
to be honest, and they can hit some shots too. So
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
matched up against Michigan State, who I have in my Final Four. So that line is moving. I think it started at what 2.5. It's down to -1 for Michigan State. So
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you there. I have Kansas State 2 spots up. I got them at 10th. But where did they go? I got Arkansas slotted in here at the 12th spot. They took down Kansas. They're a deep team. They have 5 guys who average 10 plus points a game. They're
their
athletic.
coach too is a dog.
Yeah, Eric Musselman
Yeah.
is a beast. You see it like when they won the other day, they ripped his shirt off.
Yes, dude, that was awesome.
Throwing that shit around. That was awesome. I love
gets
that.
him up. He gets the boys up.
He gets them fired up. And I mean, Arkansas is as athletic as any team in the country, in my opinion. Led by Ricky Council, averaging 16 points a game. I think they can. I think they'll be able to run with UConn here, test them a little bit, and the spread's 4. I like Arkansas plus the 4 in this matchup. But yeah, I got Arkansas at the 12th spot for 'em in my rankings.
For the 12 coming in for me, it's San Diego State. My only reason in there, I just like them a little bit more than Miami. Just in going into the rankings, not necessarily saying what's going to happen, but I do like San Diego State kind of applying pressure harder to teams than Miami, and that's why I kind of toss them up and put them ahead there.
All right. Well, let's keep moving here through this middle part. I got Tennessee coming in at 11. Like I said, they had a strong showing against Duke, but something about them for me. I know they're strong defensively and they're going to play physical, but there's a couple of those teams in this tournament, so I have them a little bit lower than maybe you guys do. But number 1 adjusted defense, 60th in adjusted offense, so that would be my reasoning for having them down at 11.
Fuski, you want to hear my honest opinion with you?
Yeah, what's up?
I think you have them ranked 11 just because they knocked off the Dukies.
I was gonna say maybe a little biased.
Where
Is
my
there a little-
bias is gone.
Is there a
bro.
little bias here?
No, on my life. And I switched them around a couple times too.
No, I hear you. I just have to play a little fun with that one.
I know.
I have to.
It felt like it.
I got Michigan State in this slot. 7 seed. I mean, I'm dumb enough to keep on betting against Tom Izzo. And I'm going to continue that. I hate this bet so goddamn much, but I have Kansas State money line tonight against Michigan State. I hate it.
Most bet, right?
Yeah, they're the most bet
Sweet
team. It's the
16.
most public side. I hate it. I hate being on the most public side. I try not to be, I try not to be on that side, but I just think Kansas State through and through is the better team. Keontae Johnson, Marcus Noel, like those guys
Kentucky
get hot.
had
They
them
can-
there for a while too. They had them.
No, they did have them.
Then they hit their like first couple threes of the half. Biggest moment of the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that most bet money line or most bet spread?
I think the most popular bet is Kansas State plus 105 money line.
we're at even money now too. So
They're at even now.
see that movement coming. Like I said, I think it started at 2.5 maybe.
Yeah.
Coming down.
I'm with you on what are we on? 12. What's that? 12?
11.
11, Michigan State. It kills me putting Tom Izzo outside of the 10, but I mean, I don't know. I just coming in at the 7 seed, you can't really. I don't think rightfully so. I could put them ahead of anyone else. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna advance tonight. I think K-State. I mean, sometimes being on the most bet side is sometimes it pays.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
scary. It's scary knowing that. But I think Vegas can make their money somewhere else too. And I think Michigan State's definitely coming in on this lower side of the seeding. I think it's just all about coaching at this point. Tom Izzo can change that seeding real quick.
Mm-hmm. Number 10 for me, I have Arkansas at number 10. Like I said, I think they're better than an 8 seed. The SEC was tough this year. And like Rich said, they're very athletic, and that's why I put them in the last spot in my top 10 here. I like UConn, but I'm nervous for those who have a future on UConn in this game. I think this will be their toughest test yet, for sure.
I agree with you. I agree with you saying it's their toughest test yet. I have Kansas State in this position.
Number 10.
I got K-State at 10. Kind of touched on them while I was talking about Michigan State in the 11 slot. I mean, Keontae Johnson and Marquise Noel, two unbelievable players. If they get hot, I don't see a way that they lose this game to Michigan State. I think they're more battle tested playing in the Big 12. But yet again, Tom Izzo, why do I keep betting against this guy? I got a sick feeling in my stomach that Michigan State's going to win, but I'm betting off what I see with my eyes, and I'm going off of Kansas State. I think they're the better team. So that's where I'm going. Kansas State, the 10 slot, Michigan State, the 11 slot. It's going to be a close game, but I think K-State pulls it out. I think the public wins this one.
An absolute banger to start off Thursday night.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
absolutely.
such a good game.
I can't wait to work during these games tonight.
Yeah, same.
For me, this was a toss-up, but I put Creighton here at the 10.
Ooh.
I think, not saying I think that they're going to be out. I mean, they have Princeton. I mean, I think they're going to advance to the next round. But coming into the tournament at the 6 seed, well, their last win was who'd they beat? Was it second round Baylor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Knocked out Baylor,
Smoked them.
smoked them. But yeah, I got Creighton sitting there pretty at the 10. Can't really put them any higher than that. There was a toss up between them and Xavier for me. I know you guys already got rid of K-State, but I got them pretty high on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Creighton. I think they're pretty strong this year, and I didn't at the beginning, and then I watched them play. I mean, there was never a doubt in that Baylor game. They only ended up winning by 9, but it never felt like Baylor got off the bus.
Yeah, no, Baylor. It didn't seem like Baylor was going to win whatsoever. I know. KenPom breaking into these teams now too. KenPom's one of the teams that's on that ranking, right? Those 5.
Creighton, yep.
Or Creighton.
Yep.
On KenPom.
Top 40 in both offense and defense.
Yeah.
Is the
Well, it's
threshold.
top 20 and then top 22.
I think it's top 40 then top 22.
Top 40, top 22.
Yeah, top 40 O, top 22 D.
Yeah, well, they're in there for sure.
Correct.
Coming in next for me is Michigan State at 9. I have them in the Final Four, and I put them at 9 above Arkansas and Tennessee strictly because of Tom Izzo. They are not the most talented team this year, but Tom, not for whatever reason, I mean, he's a great coach, but he gets the boys up to play in these tournament games. Always, there's never a doubt that they're going to fight and play strong. So yeah, I have them coming in at 9, and the rest above them is strictly talent based. But Tom Izzo bumps them up a couple spots for me for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Tom Izzo is one of the most legendary coaches in the sport. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I can't believe I'm still betting against that guy. But here I am sitting behind my laptop screen, saying it over and over again. But at the 9 spot, we're at 9, right?
Yeah.
I got University of Tennessee. I don't think they're at the top of the list here. I think their defense obviously is. I mean, they average 8.3 steals a game. They got 4 guys averaging above a steal a game, 1 guy averaging 2. As a Kai Ziegler, he's also averaging 5 assists a game, and they got 4 guys averaging double figures. They're a well-rounded squad, but I think if they run into one of those teams that can outrun them, run up the scoreboard a little bit on them. I mean, their defense is good, but say they run into an Alabama later in the tournament, I think Alabama can handle them pretty well. So that's I got Tennessee at the 9 spot.
Yeah. Before you go, Petty, let me butt in once more. I forgot to mention when you said I was biased with Tennessee at 11 because they knocked out Duke. I have a future on Tennessee to win the tournament. So
Okay.
Can't be too biased.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot about that. I just had to mention that.
Did you take them after they beat Duke, or?
I took them before the tournament even started.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Petty. Number 9.
All right. So number 9 for me is Xavier. Came in at the 3 seed. I think they've had a pretty cake path coming in. They just played Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then what was their first matchup?
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw State, which was a tight one.
Yeah, dude, they were down like 11 with
A tight one.
halfway through the second half. They were down
Yeah.
11.
I don't know. I
Can't
just think
won
they
that
play.
game.
I just think they play a little opponent based. I don't think I don't think they control any aspect of the game. I have been betting against them, and they do screw me over a couple times. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really have the most faith in them coming in where they were coming in and how easy they've had it. Now they play Texas, and I mean, I think that's a clear-cut choice. Texas is my pick. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I just don't. I don't know. I got Xavier down there at the 9.
Yep. I have a future on Xavier as well. I took that one right at the start of the tournament, but I placed my Tennessee to win the tournament on February 23rd.
Ooh. Before the bracket.
Yes, sir. Number 8 for me is Xavier. Like I said, I got a future on them. They make a lot of shots and they can score, but I don't know. The hit or miss. I felt like they were a sleeper before. They struggled a little bit with Kennesaw State. Almost felt like Kennesaw State blew that game rather than Xavier won it. 64th in adjusted defense, but 7th in adjusted O. They moved the ball pretty quickly. Got a tough matchup. Texas is damn good.
Texas is damn good. Texas is a damn good squad. But in the 8th spot, I got Gonzaga. I think this is a pretty fair spot for them. I mean, they can score the hell out of the rock, led by Drew Timme. The game he had the other night, that was insane. You guys were watching that? That was absolutely insane what he was doing.
I think.
That was the TCU cover. Yeah, I fell asleep.
Yeah. I was watching that.
Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. Last game of the second round.
Last game of the second round. That game was such bullshit, dude. I bet on the under 156.5, right? And then I was at halftime and I was like, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going to buy off a little bit. It was at I don't know if it was at halftime, maybe a little bit before. So I tried to buy off of it, and the number was 152.5. So I went over. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll even out, or hopefully ends up in that 4-point range where I
Yeah.
can hit both. It was setting up for that. Gonzaga was up like 6, 13 seconds left. They were sitting at 152. Immediately, you knew that Gonzaga had the ball. They passed it in. Horrible pass, just bounced past it directly to a TCU player, and they got an and one. And it was just like, all right, it's over. They scored. That was the game where they hit the 3 at half court from like 0.7 seconds left.
Yeah.
They scored 15. Yep. They scored 15 points in 10 seconds. But so I evened out on the total there. But anyway,
I fell asleep for it. But that last minute cover, the 4.5.
Oh my
hit
God.
a 3-leg parlay for like 160.
You did?
I didn't see it. I woke up to it and I was like, oh damn, it hit. And then I saw the video of the 3-pointer. I was like, if I was awake for that, I probably would have had a heart attack.
Fousey, you had a horseshoe up the ass this weekend.
Oh my God, luck of the Irish, buddy.
Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish.
I
couldn't miss. All turned along.
It.
I had so many underdogs. It was unbelievable.
I love it, Fousey. I love it.
Who you got at 8, Petty?
At 8, I'm with you, Rich. I got Gonzaga. I mean, I think they're a big sleeper, huge sleeper coming in at 3 seed. But I don't know. I think this is, like Rich said, I think this is a pretty fair spot for them. I think going forward on my list, I think it's going to be an actual competition for it. The teams we've listed so far, I don't really think have a chance of winning it. But I'm excited to get into this last 7. But Gonzaga is I kind of ranked them teams that have a chance and teams that don't. Kind of split them up. So that's the best team that can't win it for me.
I agree with you. I think there's a fine line,
Yeah.
I think there's a fine line. I think Gonzaga is right inside that fine line. I think they can do it.
Yeah, potentially.
I think once you get to Tennessee, I think there's no shot in my rankings anyway.
I'm just so in love with the KenPom thing where that ranking matches who's going to win.
Yeah.
Where is that fine line? I want to ask you guys, like, what number are you putting it at? How many teams are above it? How many teams are below it?
Mine's 7. I got 7 teams.
I got 8. So Gonzaga.
I think I got a few less than that. I'm thinking 5 or 6 max. And the 6 might be stretching.
I mean, if I'm going off what I just said, it's 5. It's really 5 teams that can do it, but I'm leaving Creighton out of that. I don't think Creighton's really all that. I think Purdue was on that list too.
Yeah, for sure. Number 7, I have Creighton. And I guess contradicting what I just said, I do think Creighton is strong enough to do it, but they got to go through Alabama if they win this game. So that's going to be tough. They face Princeton. They're big. They can shoot. They control the flow of the game very well. I have them at number 7 for that reason. I do think they have a pretty good shot. So maybe I don't have a line specifically in the rankings because I think there's a couple teams within my top 7 that I would give Creighton a better chance to win the whole thing. But I just tried to do it based off which team I think is
for sure
the best. So Creighton at 7 for me. What do you got, Rich?
I got Xavier at the 7 spot. What an explosive team this is. Sully Boom, Zach Fremantle, Kobe Jones, Jack Nungy. 4 guys on that team average 14 plus points a game. Like, this team can score them with the best in the country. I think, when it comes to that point of scoring the rock, they can get it done. Texas, I think this is one of the toughest matchups for them though. Sweet 16, they got Texas. We got teams like FAU and Princeton still in, and now in Sweet 16 we got Xavier and Texas facing off. I think it's such a tough draw for Xavier. That's probably why I have them at 7. I like this team a lot. I think if they weren't playing Texas, I think I'd like them more. I think I'd move them up a little bit. But I got Xavier at the 7 spot. If they get by Texas, I like where they're going. They got Houston up next. I mean, Houston or Miami. I'm not counting out Miami, but Houston or Miami if they beat Texas. And I think that's a team that Houston could have trouble with. So
Yeah, for sure.
I got Xavier at the 7 seed.
7 seed for me. So a story I kind of really like. It's K-State and their story. Keontae Johnson, especially his story. I just like the way they're playing together. I think that team is very, camaraderie is a big part of that locker room. And I don't know. I just think they're all kind of in it fighting for each other. And I think that that's kind of what puts them in that next level for me. But yeah, I got
the video of them in the locker room. They were, I forget what song it was, but the coach and the whole team was like bumping to it.
Yeah. So I think they're just a team that's all in, and that's what kind of puts them above the kind of the lower half of the list for me.
Yeah, dude, that shit was hype.
Yeah, it was
hype.
I was sitting there watching that like,
yeah,
like let's go.
And shit with it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think they're just all. I mean, every guy can look to the side of them, and they're just all bought in. I think they're even more bought in than the teams that I'm going to list ahead. But at the same time, I just don't think that can necessarily get you everywhere. So
yeah, the talent definitely plays a big part, and
sure
that plays a big part in my number 6 ranking. I have Gonzaga. They're so good on offense. I mean, they can score it with literally anyone, probably better than anyone.
Yeah.
So that's why I put them at 6. Just overall talent-wise, they're up there for me, just outside the top 5. But again, I mean, we've seen them choke down the stretch. Do they have a chance? Maybe. They got UCLA tonight or in the Sweet 16. I don't know if that's tonight. But, that's going to be a tough matchup for sure. Let me check that line. Yeah, Gonzaga plus 1.5 for UCLA. So, I mean, that's another 3-2. But I do think Gonzaga is a strong squad, and that's why I have them at 6. Rich?
Yeah, I like Gonzaga at the 6th spot. I think that they're one of those teams. I'd say like it's a tough matchup for them in the Sweet 16 against UCLA. I mean, if they win this game, I mean, they have Final Four written all over them. Maybe the potential run to the championship. So that's where I had my fine line at 8. I think Gonzaga has that chance, opportunity to make a run. So I don't necessarily disagree with you you putting them in the 6th spot here. In the 6th spot, though, I have Creighton. Going back to the Ken Palm, the top 40, top 22D. They've been in that for a while. They had a lot of close games all season. They just couldn't pull it out. They weren't really finding their stride. Towards the end of the year, they found their stride, and they've looked unbelievable in this tournament, especially against Baylor.
Really,
and I think, I mean, I have Alabama in one of my brackets to win it. I got Creighton over Princeton here. I got Bama over San Diego State, and I don't know where I'm going to go in this next round. I like the matchup. I like Creighton against Alabama, so that's why.
Well, they both got to get there first.
It's scary for sure.
It is. Like, I don't know. I like Creighton a lot. Ryan Kalbrenner, the big guy down low. Baylor Showerman. He had a tough game against Baylor, but he's still lights out from 3. South Dakota State transfer. Played for the Jackrabbits a few years ago. Played in the tournament. I like Baylor Showerman, Ryan Nembhard. I like that team a lot. I like the Blue Jays. So I got them at the 6.
It's definitely a comfortable spot. I mean, Princeton has one of the best matchups they could ask for, I think, coming in against the 6th seed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited to watch that game. It's going to keep me up late, but yeah, it's definitely one that it's a must watch coming in at the 15. I don't think a 15 has ever made the Elite 8.
I don't believe so either.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me look.
I don't think a 15 has ever made the Elite 8.
I'm gonna ask the Google machine right now.
Because they're the 4th 15 seed to make the Sweet 16. And it was in
Four
2 of
over
them
the
in the last 2 years. Abilene Christian and St. Peter's.
St.
Oh,
Peter's
yeah.
made it to the Elite Eight.
Oh, that's what they did make it to the Elite Eight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they won 3 games.
You have them at 6, Betty? Creighton?
No, I already said Creighton. For my 6, it's actually Tennessee. I think Tennessee, like Rich likes to say, battle tested.
Battle tested.
I think Tennessee is a team that can play to anybody's game, play to anybody's level. They can kind of control the court when they want to. Like Fusco said, they were lights out the other day. I don't necessarily think they're gonna be lights out the whole tournament, but I think they can strap down enough to where if they're just making even half the shots that they should, they play good defense. So that's something I like to see. And if they can just keep up on offense like they did the other night, I think they can go pretty far too.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into the top 5 here, let's take a quick break. All right, boys. Let's get into this top 5. I will start us off. My number 5 is UCLA. I think I would have had them ahead of my number 4 if it weren't for the injuries. They're not significant, but it worries me. But they have one of the strongest guard duos in the nation, if not the strongest. And yeah, I mean, they have a tough draw against Gonzaga, but if they get past this, I think they got a good shot at going all the way.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I got UCLA at my 5 as well. I think their experience here with Tiger Campbell and Jamie Jaquez Jr. That alone will help them out, but the injury to Jalen Clark does worry me for the long run.
Yeah.
Especially playing a team against Gonzaga. It's one of those games where you want to have everyone healthy, everyone that's contributed all year on your roster available to play. So that does concern me. I do think they're still the better team just based off their defense alone. With Adam Bona in the middle, that guy's an absolute beast, rim protector. So I do like him, but injured Jalen Clark. That's why I got him at the 5.
Yeah. Same. Petty?
For the 5 for me, it's actually Texas, the Longhorns.
Longhorns, huh?
It was a toss up between. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of bang out. Let me bang out 5 and 4 right here because it was a toss up between
Go ahead.
Texas.
Yeah, we'll go reverse order. You start the 4.
All right. It was just because I'm going to talk about my 4. It was a toss up between Texas and UConn. I think we'd have a whole different look on UConn here if they didn't lose their conference championship to Marquette. They had such a close game, 2 points. I think UConn's one of my picks to win. Unfortunately, I like UCLA just a little bit better, and that's why I don't have UConn going as far as they do. They always have a tough time in their little bracket, just getting through it. They always have some tough matchups. But I don't know. I think that's even putting Texas here is high for me. I'm just big bias against them. I know I like to give Rich shit and I like to give B shit about them all the time. I don't think that they're gonna go on much further than this. I mean, who will they play next matchup if they?
UCLA, UConn, or Arkansas?
No, Texas.
Houston or Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's not really any bad burn against Texas. I just kind of like the next 4 better. Texas at my 5.
Fair enough.
These are all, I think, going in. These are all teams that have very good chances of winning this tournament.
Oh yeah.
Texas being one of them, but I mean, I like the other 4 better.
We're in the threshold for me of teams that can win.
For sure.
I have maybe one added, but it's not even on 6. So, what do you got at 4, Rich? So you got Texas, UConn, right, Petty? 5-4.
Yeah, UConn's at my 4. Absolutely love them just being a New England school, you know what I mean? You can't go against them. I mean, I love UConn. I'm pissed. I tried to get us to go to a game this year, but we just kind of never really went. not really anybody's fault, but it was just, we
Yeah.
talked about it, but shit, it is a little drive, but
Yeah.
I mean, next year, I said that in, I don't know, maybe December, November. I loved this team this year, and
Yeah.
the fact that UConn is this far in the tournament still.
Yeah.
I'll be next round. I'll be rooting for UConn against UCLA, but
Yeah. I got UConn at my 4. I agree with you, Petty, there. Adama Sanogo is just different.
Beast.
Is an absolute beast. This is one of those teams that was just killing it all year early. I mean, they struggled probably a few games middle season, and then they found their stride towards the end of the year, and obviously into the tournament as well. They played St. Mary's pretty tough in the first half. It was a close game, and then it's absolutely blew them out of the water second half. Jordan Hawkins I think he hit like 4 threes in a row and 4 straight possessions. It was stupid. So I think they're hot at the right time. I am slightly worried about Arkansas. Like I said, they're an SEC team. They're battle tested. They're athletic. They're long, but UConn advancing here, facing UCLA in the next round. UConn advancing to the Final Four.
love it.
Love that
We're
too.
rooting for them, but my pick currently is UCLA. But before we get off the Big East, can I mention Rick Pitino to St. John's?
Yeah.
That's going to be a big stir up.
It absolutely
was
is.
5 minutes after the game. He was on a flight to New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
yeah,
I think everybody knew what was going down there, but I love the hire.
Yeah,
for sure. Me too.
Same with Ed Cooley. Like, boom,
Yep.
like they get bounced, and all of a sudden, boom, right to the next school. Going to Ed Cooley from Providence, going to Georgetown.
Yep.
What the hell
Like
is
that
that? The
hire.
Farley Dickinson's coach. He's going to Iona to fill a spot that Rick Pitino left already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what happens. That's just going to the dance. You got to think about it. It's not only huge for these players in their lives, but the coaches.
Yeah,
They will
absolutely.
increase millions and millions of dollars on their paycheck just for doing it. Just to
Exactly.
make these wins. Once Princeton loses, I can't imagine. I don't even know the head coach, but I can't imagine he's staying.
Yeah. Well, same thing happened with St. Peter's last year. The St. Peter's
Yep.
coach went over to Seton Hall, like probably a week or two right after, not even a week after the tournament.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like every year one of these Cinderella teams pops off, and their head coach, as everyone probably should, taking a little bit more money, going to a more prestigious program. So I don't know. I don't really know about the Ed Cooley to Georgetown though. That's a weird one.
I like that hire.
I mean, I like the hire for Georgetown, but I mean, for Ed Cooley himself, like, he's been there for 12 years now. I mean, Georgetown's probably a dream job, but Georgetown has sucked eggs for years now.
That's
No.
why they want him.
I know, but like,
They
you
gotta
got a
get
steady
back
job
in.
at Providence. I don't know.
Isn't Georgetown where what's his name was who was just coaching there?
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing. Yeah.
Swing and a miss from the
Swing.
fucking Bulldogs.
Swinging an absolute miss. I think they're like,
But that's why I like to hire, because the ceiling is so high. If you bring Georgetown on a deep run, like,
oh, I like
Bring
the
them
hire.
back.
I like the hire for Georgetown. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a great hire for Georgetown. But I don't know. I think maybe it's gonna be a longer road than what I think Ed Cooley thinks it's gonna be to get him back to Sweet 16s and Elite
Yeah.
Eights and Final Fours.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, with Rick Pitino, we could see St. John's in this Sweet 16 breakdown next year. Literally.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
definitely. I
I
think
see
that
what you're saying. It's going to be quicker for St. John's than it will be for.
most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But didn't mean to sidetrack you there, Fusco. Let's hear your 4.
All good. All good. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're breaking it down, all the shit that happened. I mean, that's a part of it.
That was just huge. I had to mention it.
The teams
Yeah.
that are gone are already on the next year, and the teams that are still in it, well, they're in it. So,
Yeah.
my 4 is Houston. I know they're a 1 seed. I know they're incredible on defense. Sasser has been playing through that hamstring, but I don't know. I couldn't find a way to fit them in the top 3. I just have a vision of them down the stretch when they need a big bucket. I don't know. It's probably because it's happened before, but I just don't see them in a close game. They need a big shot to get within a possession or something like that. I know they have Miami, and I do like Miami this week, and Miami can score. So that's why I have them at the 4. I know they're strong. I know they're a 1 seed, but
Yeah, I can't disagree with you with them at the 4. The only reason I don't have them at my 4 necessarily, or even outside of that, is just because I've been kind of biased against them, and they just keep proving me wrong. I mean, and coming in at the 1 seed, I just couldn't take them outside of that being in that top 2. But don't get me wrong, I wanted to take them out of there so fast, but it was just one of those things that I think the ones are kind of remain the ones in the tournament.
I hear you.
Definitely could be argued for though, so I do like where you put them.
It's just that bad feeling that I have. Like I said, it's like a 2 possession game with a minute and a half to go, and they need like a big shot. I don't know. I see them missing it. Not that they don't have guys that can score.
Yeah.
I just see it not working out for them. But I'll go back to the reverse order with number 3. I got Texas.
Texas.
I think they're deep, they're talented, they're athletic. Had all that shit going on with Chris Beard. He got fired, and they still came out as a top team, a 2 seed in the toughest conference of the Big 12. So I think they're battle tested for that reason, and even with the other adversity off the court, and they've come to play, and they've looked very good so far. So I got them in at 3.
For sure. They haven't choked where we've expected them to.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I love to get B shit, but they're damn good this year. So
They are good
for me.
They're not winning though. B, don't get ahead of yourself here. I know he's probably blushing.
Yeah, I
Well,
got.
he's got them in the bracket, and
Yeah, of course. Of course he does. He's a diehard fan. Texas is a 2 seed. I mean, it's not a bad pick. You know, I mean, Texas is right up there with the best teams in the country. But my 3, I got Houston. It's they got 5 guys averaging 10 plus points a game. They play unbelievable defense, but it's just a matter of which Houston team are we going to get. You know, like they beat Kent State by 5 points earlier in the year. You know, like which team are we going to get? We're going to get the team that beats a team by 60. We're going to get a team that beats a team by 2 points. You know, like you never know. So that's why I got Houston at the 3. They're not as battle tested as the rest of the, I would say, top 5 that I have. But yeah, that's why I got Houston there.
Okay. At my 3, I actually have UCLA.
Okay.
I think UCLA coming in to this tournament at the 2. I think they deserve to kind of take this 3 spot on my list. They're a team that can play with anybody. They can score. They can run. They got it all. I think their defense is pretty solid. Yeah, I think they're going to be in the title game. I think they're going to win this thing. So I got them at the 3. I got them at the 3 in the rankings, but in my heart, I got them at number 1. They're going to be going all the way.
hell yeah, I like that. All right, let's keep going. Let's run through the rest of this top 3. I just saw Sam Burns miss the green on the par 3, pretty bad. So that's nice. We'll talk about golf in a minute, but
That's not good.
at number 2 for me is UConn. They have Sonogo, of course, but I think they're a little bit underrated this year, and they are deep at the big position as well. And like you said, I'm blanking on the name.
Jordan Hawkins.
Jordan Hawkins, yeah, he is. When he gets going, the rest of the team gets going with him. And that's a big part of their success so far. He played well. If he starts hitting a couple shots, then everybody on their squad is alive. I think they have a real good chance at winning this whole thing.
Yeah. And that's the toughest thing for me. I think they're a Final Four team, but I think UCLA is a Final Four team as well. And I think that's
They definitely have the toughest side of the.
Yeah, and like I said in the last show, I mean, this is going to be the mini tournament inside the big tournament to watch, and that's kind kind of been spot on.
Who you got, Rich?
We're at 2.
Yep.
I got the Texas Longhorns.
Like, it can't see me, so I'll speak up.
Yeah,
gonna
I
watch,
got the Texas Longhorns. This one's for B. I just like how they're coming out of the Big 12. They beat Kansas twice this year. You know, Kansas came out as a 1 seed. I just think I don't want to say the word again, but they're pretty fucking battle tested, and they're led by Marcus Carr. They got Rice. They're both averaging 13 plus points a game. Marcus Carr averaging 16. Play a little defense. I like their versatility. I like them against Xavier. And then I like them over Houston, even though I got Houston in a couple brackets. So I like Texas here at the 2 spot. I think they're worth what I'm putting at here. I think that I should have put a future on Texas earlier in the year. They had the best odds for how good their team is. But here I am, putting them as my 2 spot.
Yeah, I mean they're on the same side as UConn. They have to beat a lot of good teams to get to the championship, and then probably another great team in the championship.
Yeah, that's how it works, man. That's how it works.
It is how it works. That left side is a lot weaker. That bottom left was mayhem, like we thought it would be, with a 9 and a 7.
Yeah.
But other than Princeton in the South, it's pretty chalky. I mean, next highest seed behind FAU is the 6 with Creighton. I think they're better than the 6. So it's going to be exciting. We're getting to the end here. Who do you got at 2, Petty?
My 2 is Houston. I think they're a team that I would compare to Tennessee in a way, on a better level. I think that they can control any pace of any play. They can score. They score early. They like to get a pounce on teams. I think tonight's going to be a good matchup for them. Hopefully, they can kind of control the pace of the game. But if they can't, Miami can slip away with this one easily. And that would be a big twist up in the tournament to see the third 1 seed go down before the round of 8. I don't know. I think Miami's had a tough chance to get here too. Tough path. Houston hasn't had the easiest path coming from the 1, but I think with them, with these top 2 rankings, I'm not going to take either of them out of the 1 seed, and I just kind of had to rank the 2 1 seeds, and I got Houston at the 2nd.
Yeah. Yep. Before we get to the inevitable number 1, the only team that has been mentioned, I want to correct myself. I said the next lowest seed behind FAU was Creighton at 6, but Arkansas is an 8. I just blanked on that because I don't really look at them as an 8 seed, to be honest. So 2 5s, a 4, 7 with Michigan State, and then you got 2 3, 2 3, 2 1s. So
yeah, I mean, it's been madness, man. It's been absolute madness. So this is what we sign up for every year, you know? This is what we sign up for. So,
and number 1, of course, for all 3 of us is Alabama.
We can all
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Ain't nothing but Tide.
Yeah, there's not much to say.
Much as I hate Alabama, they're the best team left.
Yeah, it's clear cut. I think they just have.
I don't hate them. They hoop. They like the 3 ball. It's a fun team to watch. They've had a lot of controversy this year, but they're still hooping. I like Bama. I like to watch them play. I think they're going to be in the final game with UCLA. That's my pick, and that's my bracket. And still looking true. So I think they win tonight's game by at least 10.
Yeah, really? They got through 2 pretty good, comfortable wins. And first round, Brandon Miller barely showed up. Scored 15 in the second game, I believe. So, I mean, he's still kind of waiting to have his moment.
Exactly, and that's
they've cruised along so far. So.
Yeah, they're clear cut the number 1 team for me. I don't really want. I mean, I have them in a couple of my brackets. I'm not a big Bama guy.
You got them in ours. So do I.
I know, but I don't know. I'd rather see We got the bracket, obviously. Like I want to beat your asses, no doubt. But that'd be cool. But I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see like a UConn go on around. We're New England based, you know.
For sure.
UCLA.
Who's got your
UCLA.
what's your final matchup? I know Petty's Bama, UCLA. What's your final matchup?
In our
In ours, yeah.
I forget. I made so many of them, dude. Alabama, Houston.
Yeah, I got Alabama, Texas.
Mm-hmm. In this one, I'm pissed off, dude. I had Texas A&M upsetting Texas.
That was a tough loss. I had him too.
Penn
Well-
State boat raced them in the first round.
That does it. That's the whole Sweet 16. It's
Yeah.
1:20 right now, so 5 hours until the first game kicks off. All 8 games tonight, and then we move into the Elite 8 over the rest of the weekend.
No,
So-
it's 4 games. 4
Four
games tonight,
games.
4 games tomorrow.
oh yeah, my bad.
And then Elite 8 is Saturday, Sunday. Then Final
Correct.
Four next weekend, and the championship game on Monday.
yeah,
Let's go.
Let's rock.
Full weekend of March Madness once again. I mean, we lived for it. It was electric last weekend. St. Patty's Day added to it.
Oh man.
Hope it's just as good this weekend. I think we got some really good matchups though in all the games. To be honest.
I agree with you, Fuski. I think we got a great weekend of basketball coming up ahead of us. So this is March. This is
Most
this
definitely.
is why we watch.
This is March. Be ready for the madness.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try and watch Purdue advance. I think they're tomorrow, actually. Or
Purdue.
not Purdue, Princeton. Fuck Purdue.
Oh man, that's too funny.
All
Fuck
right,
Purdue.
well, that's about it for Sweet 16. Let's talk a little golf here. Got the WGC Dell Technologies match play going on right now. So second round of group play, they'll play one more inside the group, and then one player from each group moves on to the weekend,
Mhm.
I believe. Let's see. I'll run through my picks real quick
Yeah.
for this second round. I believe they've all teed off. Yeah, they've all teed off so far. I'll probably add a few later on Twitter or something. But I got Davis Thompson, over Seb Straka. These are all 1 unit plays to win the match. He is currently
Dude. Oh my god.
1 up. Ricky Fowler over Billy Ho. Ricky's down 2. Harris English over Willie Z. He's up 3 right now because Willie Z can't putt the ball to save his life, and he stinks. Adam Scott over Sam Burns. That's why I mentioned Sam Burns' errant tee shot. That is 1 up for Sam Burns. And then I have Scotty Scheffler boosted from -120 to -104 to win the group. And that's a 2.5 unit play. And
Damn.
a boosted parlay for today. Finau, Rahm, Matsuyama, Hadwin, and Scheffler all to win their matchup, boosted from +977 to +1133. Those are my plays. It's always fun to get a little switch up from the traditional format and get some match play, see how these guys react in one-on-one competition. But what do you got? What do you got, Rich? I know we're riding Montgomery against Spieth together. He's down 1 right now. So
Yeah. Did you see that putty hit?
no.
Spieth bombed one on the par 3, put it in the freaking woods, put it onto the green about 36 feet away on the par 3, and then hit the 36-foot putt for par.
Wow.
That's his range.
It's just Spieth. Like, it's just unbelievable what this guy does. Like, it drives me absolutely nuts. And I'm like, every time I bet on Spieth, he blows up, and every time I bet against him, he goes nuts. And I think that's just going to be a trend that continues forever.
Yeah. I can
It's just
see
how it is. You know, this is just how it's going to go. It's just how I just got to accept it and move forward. But anyway, the Dell Technology match play, one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I think I just love the switch up of the format. It's a 5-day tournament, I believe.
Mhm.
3 days of group match play, and then they hop into the like Fuski said, the winner of each each group moves on. So there'll be 16. There's 16 groups. So there'll be 16 people moving on Saturday, and then they'll go from there until they get to the final. And I think I believe they wrap it up on Sunday. I picked Max Homa. I think he's just too calm and collected in a 1v1 setting to really give in to anybody. I think he's going to go right at everybody. I like that. And I referred my little brother on FanDuel, got $100 free play. So I threw that straight on Max Homa. 100 to win 1,600. So I'm a big Max Homa guy this weekend.
I'm going to see if my sister wants an account. I have to refer my sister.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I might ask Shannon if she wants a couple. Like I might.
Oh, absolutely,
accounts.
Dude. My cousin Johnny, who we golf with, Fusco, referred his sister. His sister put the money. His sister put put all the $200 on FanDuel on the Bruins. Has 400 in her account. She just cashed out. She's done. Like 400, one bet. She's like, I don't. And then Johnny got the free money. So free
exactly.
Goals. Yeah, awesome. You gotta love the first week of legal mobile sports betting.
Gotta love it.
I might text my mom and my dad right after this. Hey, you guys want? I'm not even gonna say hey, what up.
Socials, I'm
just gonna send them the link. Sign up for FanDuel. I get a free $100 bet.
I'm dead. That's awesome. But yeah, this is cool. I mean, I like betting matchups in the regular tournaments too, but sometimes those guys aren't even in groups together, so it's cool to see.
So they're not really matchup, Yeah,
exactly.
This is awesome. I'm excited to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
Sure, it's on right now.
Oh no!
Started Wednesday. They're still just in the beginning of the back nine. The guys who went off first, so we're on all day. We'll have tee off until like 4. And that's always fun to watch. But one more thing I wanted to touch on, the WBC. I mentioned it earlier. Final was on Tuesday. USA Japan coming down to Otani versus Trout. I mean, couldn't have scripted it any better for the MLB just before the season.
Yeah, that was really cool, man. That was really cool.
It was just dope.
It was unreal. We were watching it at golf, and then we were driving home. And I was by the time I had left, it was the at bat. It was Mike Trout versus Otani, and I was like, dude, I gotta pull over. Like I pulled over. I was on the side of the road, dark airport road, and I watched the at bat, and I was like, if anybody were to come up with me right now, I would just, hey, watch this, It was absolutely electric. Otani's, it was 100 miles an hour every pitch he threw. I mean, he was not letting off the gas. It was his game to win. And I mean, it was a heartbreaker because anytime the USA plays in a big title game, I back them big. And that was tough.
Yeah, no, it is. That's the thing, though. Is I had a future on USA before the tournament started. That's just kind of just a big time homer play, along with them being one of the most dangerous lineups that the WBC has ever seen. I knew that their pitching was lacking a little bit. And I was like, that's why it was a big homer play. I didn't think they were going to win it, to be honest, out of the gate.
Where are the big dogs at?
What do you mean?
Where are they at? Why aren't they playing?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, DeGrom the last 3 weeks in the regular season, so I think he would have been out. Wouldn't even last for the WBC.
I know, I get it, but I mean, if we had everyone playing, it wouldn't even be a competition.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if we had
Judge,
Judge too, yeah. But I mean, I still think we could have fielded.
Damn Yankees.
Ugh, yuck, Yankees. But no, yeah, I hear you guys. But I lean Japan in that game outright. I wasn't gonna play it. You can't do that. You can't bet against the home country,
DeGrom's Russian.
Is he?
No. Could be.
There's no shot.
Could be. Yeah. No, it's dope, but how much money do you think Otani's gonna get? Is he gonna get 600 million?
I think they're gonna sign him to a 10-year, $2 billion contract.
Dude, he's gonna get paid so much money. It's insane, especially after that. I mean,
Yeah.
been stuck on the Angels with Trout.
Yeah,
And-
he ain't staying there.
That big of a moment, he shows up and strikes out the next best player in baseball, if you will. I mean,
I mean, they literally changed the MLB rule for him.
it's insane. He's gonna
Yeah.
get a bag, bro. He's just ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna
I've
get
never
paid,
seen
man.
anything like him.
He's
He's a
gonna-
star.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid. That's for damn sure.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
boys. Well, good luck tonight. Good luck in the tournament. Let's
Yeah,
have another electric weekend. I'm sure it will be. It's March. It's what we sign up for, like we said. So
yes,
that's
sir.
about it for episode 6. Thank you guys for watching. Check us out on Show. Check us out on Show.
Absolutely.
Follow the socials if I can speak. Check out our sponsors in the description. We'll be back sometime next week, and yeah.
Yes, sir, ladies and DeGents, headed out to hit the slopes.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate everyone who was supporting us. And I got my place posted on Twitter too. So if you ever want to check that out, check me out on Twitter. Follow me. Follow the DeGents. Follow us on all platforms. We got Chowder Boy over there. We got D Fuski. So follow all the boys, and we'll do what we can to give you guys some winners, and follow all the sports and coverage that we can. So good luck this weekend, everybody, and let's get it ripping.
Peace.
Later.